And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another edition of the ESL Open Cup number 199 Asia. I'm of course your host Live VIP, and it has been a while since we've been here on the CranKy Ducklings. I miss you guys, Papi. I miss you guys. Of course, over the weekend we were busy covering the B stream for ESL Masters Winter, and in a couple of days we'll be back on the B stream as well. But for now, we're here. We're back at home. We're back in the pond. Quack, Bobby, quack. We are back where we belong, and here we go. We're diving into our first series of the night of the tournament, exclamation mark. Be in the chat if you guys wish to have a look at the back of yourselves. For those wondering, this is an open tournament. Open to all regions, but at a Korean-friendly time slot. Friendly time slot, Bobby. And here we go, spawning in the bottom right-hand corner. We have our American Protoss representing Maturino Esports. It is Astrea. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the Chinese Protoss representing the Starving Camels SSLT. It is Cyan. Oh, and thank you, Talimo. Thank you. Do appreciate it. I do what I can. I do what I can for StarCraft, like for StarCraft, and also because obviously I enjoy it. You know, definitely passionate about StarCraft. It's been a major part of my life for a long time, and I'm doing my part. As we have a very interesting opener. Oh my god. So Cyan is going for a standard 2-gate opener, relatively standard 2-gate opener, but something that's a little bit interesting as he goes off to throw down a proxy. Additional gases were taken quite quickly here for Cyan. I'm curious if he's going to be committing here to a proxy Stargate, maybe a proxy Robo. Astrea having really interesting building positioning, actually. So because he throws down his buildings away from the wall, it makes it look like he's maybe proxying. So a little bit of mind games early on, but yeah, I'm not too fond of this, actually. This means that we won't be able to wall off the ramp as easily as we get into the game, but we do kind of tuck away our gateways, and they are in a safer location overall. So in case there was an all-in, the gateways, they would not be exposed. They would not go down. So yeah, really interesting. We do have a pylon. Pylon is thrown down across, so I'm going to be walling off here back at home, and Astrea will not find his way in. Meanwhile, are we going to throw down a Stargate? Are we going to commit? Cybercore is done. Yeah, we're going to be patrolling, just waiting till we bank up those resources. Third pylon is on the way. There it is. It is going to be a proxy Stargate. Again, we're in a prime location for it. This is not all in by any means. Not all in at all from Cyan. This is just a way to get ahead economically, to slip into a mineral line, to get some worker kills, and to expand from here. Back at home, you open up double Stalker into 2 more Stalkers. Likewise, Astrea doing the same. Looking to vie for map control. The Stalkers have been spotted by this probe. Astrea is aware he's moving out, and he's going to respect the ramp, going to respect the high ground. He's going to be lying in wait here, looking to shoot first. Oh, he does. He does get the first volley off, and he forces his way up the ramp, and he will be able to kill one of the Stalkers, almost. Does force it back. Going to be chasing the rest down, and Astrea, despite being even in units 2v2, he does take a miraculous fight, but he has to respect the reinforcements from Cyan. He has to pull back. Meanwhile, Oracle is on the way from the proxy, and so far that is unscouted. But again, really good control out of Astrea. He will lose one of his Stalkers in the end, but he will trade out very well here. He should, as we trade 2 for 1, but 2 of these Stalkers are still very low, and again, Cyan is being bullied back. Is actually in quite a bit of trouble, does not have any additional Stalkers to reinforce. How good is the target firing going to be here as we do split up our shots? Yeah, we should be able to bring down every single one of these Stalkers, but at the same time, here comes that Oracle. And what do we have at home to defend? Oh, we have a... It's stuck! The sentry's stuck! No! Sentry's not quite where they need to be. Probes are going down. 4 workers. Shield battery was on top of the ramp. We do recall... Actually, we recall the Stalker back home. Just barely in time to defend. And as a result, Cyan, he does take a slight worker lead. We have a second Oracle on the way, so we can one-shot workers. Hallucination is coming out. But that was just a very unfortunate position for that one sentry. Let him be free, Poppy. Let him be free. As the Oracle comes back in, and Astrea is being pulled apart. Does lose only 1 worker. Thankfully, the shield battery is within range. Does keep the rest alive. Oracle tries to come back in. This time Astrea is ready for it. And we're going to be easing our way in from here. Things are going to be calming down. Again, initially Astrea had a stronger start in trading Stalkers, but alas, did end up losing quite a lot of workers in the process. Did go for Hallucination Scout. Does get eyes on the tech. Does see the Twilight Council. And all the Oracles are still alive. They can technically deal some more damage. Oh. The Cyan does get the hell out of there. Preserving them. Interesting choice here out of Astrea. He opened up Robo into a Stargate. The Robo, of course, is very strong defensively. You do gain access to Immortals early on. With these Immortals, we shouldn't die to any kind of gateway pressure anytime soon. We're going for a Void. Oh my god, Trigger does this. I think I've seen Trigger do this before, and maybe Max Packs as well. We're going for an early early Immortal Void Ray army. We're going to be going for an early push. Okay. Third base is thrown down, but yeah, this is kind of like a mech army. I say early push, never mind. We're actually just gonna be banking up back at home. This is kind of like a mech army here, where we only have two gateways to work with. No Twilight Council, no Blink. Just a safety Void Ray and Immortal early on. Cyan likewise is pushing out, getting his own third base, relying on mainly Stalkers. Shield battery is about to finish up. Stasis traps being set up as well. Cyan looking to apply a lot of pressure here to this third. But again, with the help of this Void Ray, with the help of these Immortals, we can defend. It's going to be close. It is going to be close. There we go. Additional Stalkers are on the way. Okay, only a single Void Ray. Only one. Additional Immortals are in production. And with this revelation, we do get eyes on the army. Cyan, he knows. He comes in from behind, but there are Stalkers in position here as well. Really good movement out of Astrea. Able to keep up. And Cyan, he's just posturing. He doesn't have to commit. He's taking a third base. You know, he's saturating his third. Up! Oh my god, just try to go for that Immortal. Doesn't quite get it. Doesn't lose anything, but does take some hull damage. Both players do. As the Oracles, they go back in, but one of them goes down. Only one does make it into the main, where there is no shield battery. Uh-oh. No shield battery in position. 2, 3 probes are going to be going down. 4 probes even. The Oracles have paid for themselves at the same time. Cyan does find his way into the natural. Out positioning Astrea. There is a full wall off, but we can blink over the wall. Void Ray goes down. Astrea having a hard time keeping up. Catching an Immortal. The overcharge. Barely keeps it alive a little bit longer, soaks some extra volleys. And Cyan blinks down to the low ground. Astrea was ready for it, was in position. But it's still going to be losing 7 more workers. Ay. After all said and done, looking at the units lost tab, that did cost Cyan a lot of Stalkers. 14 Stalkers went down in that dive. But he killed so many workers. 9 probes, an Immortal, a Void Ray. And Cyan is not stopping, he's just keeping the aggression up. He delays +1, it gets into the mineral line, into the natural. He will get even more probes. Now, Astrea, he's still building up a more robust army. Like, we have more Void Rays on the way. We have a Colossus in production as well. Oh my god. A bit of a kitchen sink composition here from Astrea. A bit of everything. But again, it looks like Astrea, his goal here, kind of like a mech army in a way. We want to turtle. We'll just turtle up here on 3 bases, stabilize, and then eventually push out. Cannon, shield batteries on the way. Up! Big station trap does go off, catching most of the army even. Meanwhile, Cyan, upon recognizing that, of course, he has map control and he's containing his opponents, we have a fourth base on the way. Big gateway explosion, +2 alongside Templar Archives. Meanwhile, we're going straight to Sky Toss. Oh my god. It really is like we're playing mech. Yeah. Just Immortal Void Ray into Sky Toss. And Colossus, of course. +1 air attack, Fleet Beacon, 2nd Stargate. It's a very unique style. Not unheard of, but very unique nonetheless. We very rarely get to see this. Ay. And Cyan is going to be stuck with a low-tech army. Kind of like, I guess, bio-tank against mech. Where Cyan is going to want to try to pull apart his opponent, dive in, stop this before it really snowballs out of control. Prism going towards the main. We're just setting up a wall. The SimCity is real. Is there anything in the main base to defend? We have a mothership on the way and a carrier. Let's go. Here we go, we're pushing on forward. A lot of nice volleys here from the Colossus. We dive on in, but the juggling is too good. But at the same time, we have the drop into the main. 5 probes go down, and we scout the tech. We scout the Sky Toss. Oh, even depowering that Cyber Core. Now, the War Prism is going to get shut down, but +1 is heavily delayed. Oh my god, does this LSA make their way to the natural? More probes are falling. Astrea, he's down. No, the misclick! No, not the rocks! Not the rocks, Papi. He's down to 48 workers. 47 probes now. Cyan almost double the worker count, getting a 5th base. Behind this, disruptors are on the way. He's going in towards Phoenixes, which makes sense. He needs every bit of anti-air he can muster. Meanwhile, Astrea just turtling. Now, he did lose a mineral line, did lose 16 probes, so not going to be easy to recover. This is actually a really rough position for Astrea, but if he can stabilize, if he can get back up to a stable economy of around 60... Got a mistake. Of around 60 workers, get to around 150 army supply, he can survive. He can eventually take a 4th base. For now, he's stuck on 3 bases, and this 3-base setup is really easy to defend, or relatively easy to defend here on Oceanborn. The 4th is much more exposed. We'll see if we can take it. Gonna be dipping on out. Cyan pushing on forward as well, just looking to contain. There it is. The 4th base is cancelled. That's the goal here for Cyan. Contain. Cancel the 4th over and over again. Starve Astrea out, and then it's gone. 7 more probes. Bit of a late reaction there from Astrea. Meanwhile, Flux Veins, Void Razor on the way. Oh my god. 6th base from Cyan. Going up to 6 bases. Mothership comes in, we can recall. And then we go, we're recalling across the map. And this is how we attack. Mothership goes down, it cancels the recall just in time. Oh my god. Astrea, that was his move to break free. I mean, he does force the army back. He did force an overreaction. There it is. Sky Toss now on the way for Cyan. But Astrea's pushing. He creates an opening. 4 Colossi, 3 carriers. We're reinforcing with Void Rays. It's all or nothing. Before Cyan can get into his own Sky Toss. Oh! Nova goes off. There's no blink. These Novas, they're brutal. We have 3 more Novas with this army. Ay, ay, ay. Astrea gonna rotate back around, respecting this. He doesn't want to overextend. He doesn't want to get surrounded. He's gonna come across this base. And here we go. Novas once again going to be shaving off some of these units, but Astrea will back off. Mothership comes out. Still no 4th base. Cyan working on Tempest even, which is what he wants to go for. It's almost hard countering those carriers. But here we go. We're going to be committing. We activate the prismatic alignments. Void Rays are going ham. Novas, oh my god, do not quite go off. And Astrea, he is annihilating this army. He may take some Novas to the face, but the Colossus, the carriers, the Void Rays. Astrea, he's just going ham. Oh my god, this is disgusting. This army is getting out of control. Here we go. Just gonna keep on pushing. Nothing to slow us down. There are some Tempests. 3 Tempests, but we dive on them immediately. They're exposed to the Void Rays. 1 Tempest goes down. We have the production. The Artosis Pylon. Depowering the Stargates and a Robo. Meanwhile, Cyan is going for a big Zealot counterattack. More gateways are going down. We have to commit. Nova goes off. Connection takes down the Colossus. But there's still so much more Colossi remaining. And Astrea, he's doing it. He's pulling it off. He cleans up the army. He may be losing everything. 42 probes go down. Astrea does not have an economy. He's down to 7 workers. But he has an army. He has a hefty army, puppy. That is 9 Void Rays, 2 carriers, a couple of Colossi, a couple of Immortals, a couple of Vanilla Stalkers with +1. If you're a Protoss player out there, you may have been inspired, but this is ridiculous. As we break into the main base, likewise, Cyan is trying to commit to a base trade, but we have defensive Void Rays back at home. Zealous to be cleaned up. And Cyan desperately trying to throw down additional gateways. He doesn't want to go down. He doesn't want to tap out. He doesn't want to be made a fool of. He's like, no, you will not. You will not kill me. Not with this. Not with whatever the hell this is. It's too late, Poppy. It's happening. It is happening. As Astrea, he's now moving out with his Void Rays. Gets on top of the natural. Heading towards the only mining bases left here of Cyan. Swapping in Stalkers, a couple of Archons. Whatever he can get. He slaps 2 Void Rays. Good damage. Very nice damage, but at the end of the day, the death ball of Astrea's army is going to keep on pushing. Taking down more gateways, getting on top of the mineral line as well. Now, Cyan does have a decent army here. He's going to try and force his way in. Delsby going forward. He focuses down one of the carriers. He's going for the second, but there's just not enough Stalkers. There's not enough here. The Archon's putting in a lot of work. They take down the Void Rays. Astrea sustaining a lot of losses. Cyan, can he warp in some extra units? He cannot. GG gets called, and Astrea will take game number 1. GG. The hell did we just watch? GG, well played. Astrea with, in a way, Protoss mech. Just mass Robo and Skytoss space units. Barely any gateway units at all. Just, and to be fair, like, it's not like Cyan was playing poorly. Like, wind it back. Oh, hold on, to wind it back a little bit here. Remember, Cyan, he was crippling the economy. He was denying the 4th over and over and over again. He was killing workers. He was picking apart whatever he could. You know, Stalkers here and there, Void Rays here and there. Like, Cyan, he was doing well for himself. He was a mass expanding behind it. But, yeah, there was that moment. The moment when the recall from the mothership forced Cyan back home. That created the opening here for Astrea to snowball out of control, to send his amalgamation, his abomination of an army across the map. And GG. GG, well played. That's Astrea for you. It's Astrea. At times, he goes full at A. He's not afraid. He is not afraid. Meanwhile, we're going to be loading into our next game, and I need a moment here to set some things up. Un momento, papi, un momento. I need a moment to get my food. I did order some menu log, and I believe it's here. Oh. I got my food puppy. Alright, here we go. We're getting into game number 2, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Golden Aura, we have the American Protoss player, the blue Protoss, representing Maturino Esports, leading the series 1-0. It is Astrea. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Chinese Protoss player, representing the Starving Camels, SSLT. Down in the series, it is Cyan. Here we go, and to wind it back a little bit here, when it comes to Cyan's play style there, you could definitely make an argument that okay, to wind it back to game number one, because I was thinking about it for a while there as I was getting my food. So I did like Cyan's transition into Skytoss, into Tempest. I think that could have been sooner. I do believe that, mate, he threw down his Stargates after he was on 6 spaces. Remember, Cyan, he was mass expanding, and he was kind of teching. He was teching towards Disruptors, if you remember. But I do think that there was the opportunity there to tech into that Fleet Beacon and those Stargates and those Tempests a lot sooner. And to be fair, I don't blame Cyan too much, because the reality is, how often do you play against that kind of style, right? It's like, I would imagine that Cyan, he was kind of like, you know, off the dome, just like trying to figure out how to approach Astrea, what to bring forward, and how to deal with his army composition. And he was doing well for himself, don't get me wrong. It was close towards the end. But I do think that there are definitely ways that he could have refined it, and I'm sure it's something that he himself is going to be thinking about as well. It's just, no one plays like that. No one plays, well, in that way like Astrea. So how much practice do you really get against that, and how often do you really need to think about, you know, how to deal with a big robo-based composition like that? As Astrea is going all in. Oh no! He gets, wait, I'm a little bit confused. Okay. Astrea, he's actually setting up pylons in the main base for shield batteries, question mark? What is going on? Astrea putting on a show here, putting on a performance. So he has 2 gateways back at home. He has a 3rd gateway across the map. He has 2 pylons on the high ground. This is for high ground vision. I imagine we're going to be throwing down shield batteries. That's the only thing I can think of. But the probe does go down. No shield batteries, so we do have 3 pylons powering up this gateway. Stalkers are going to be pushing in. Another pylon on the front lines. It looks like Cyan is going to be able to regain control of his main base, but of course Astrea does have high ground vision. Can be a little bit annoying, a little bit of a nuisance. And shield batteries are on the way on the low ground here for Cyan. And we've got a defensive robo as well for Immortals. So far, a good reaction from our red Protoss. So far, all is looking as it should. And shield batteries are finishing. Overcharge is going to be available. Astrea is being forced back. For now, but he's just consolidating his forces, bringing everything together. And it looks like the Cybercore is exposed. He's going to be able to snipe it. He won't deny Warp Gates. Warp Gate will finish up in 8 seconds. And shield battery is going to keep it alive as well. Just barely, and Warp Gate will complete. Without it, we would be seeing a very different game. Cybercore goes down. The Adepts come in here to shade past the wall. They shade towards the main base, and it looks like we will not commit. Not yet. And Astrea, he's expanding, but not back at home. He's taking the gold. Gold base is being taken here from Astrea, so his goal here now is to contain. Initially, it may have been to go all in and kill, but now it's just to contain and get away with the gold base. Wild play tonight out of Astrea. Let's go. As here we go, Adepts. This time they will commit. They do slip into the main base. We have 2 Adepts here at the low ground, 3 Adepts going into the main. And of course, 2 Adepts do one-shot workers. Probes are falling. Oh my god, and we just, yeah, we do go back in. Getting 5, oh, just getting 5 workers for now. We're just warping another wave of Adepts. Meanwhile, the gold base is about to finish up, which we will be able to recall towards said gold to saturate it. Oh! Oh my god. There are 2 Immortals. The Immortal count looking quite scary, actually. Astrea has to respect that he has to back off. Stargate's on the way? Okay. Okay. I mean, Phoenixes are a way to deal with Immortals. They are. Adepts are going to get a couple more workers. 3 more pros go down. We do recoil here towards the gold. Immediately saturated. As the proxy is going to be shut down. Immortal diving right on that pylon. Astrea, they're still playing with fire. Show us. This should be for... No, not Phoenixes. It's going to be Void Rays. I assumed it would be a Phoenix to not just take down the War Prism, but also to crowd control the Immortals. I assumed that was going to be the goal, but no, never mind. It's going to be Void Rays. And, I mean, to be fair, in a head-to-head fight, Immortals, they don't shoot up. Void Rays, they will shut this down. Here comes the rest of the army of Cyan. Moving out across north. That was, Jesus, 4 shield batteries here on the low ground. Immortals do rock up. They focus down at the shield battery itself. Yeah, but the Void Ray just arrived. Oh, can we get one? Oh, we do not. We do not get the Void Ray. A little bit of miscontrol there out of Astrea. He did miss a volley. And can he hunt down that Prism? He's trying to. He's going for it. Does get a couple of hits. Does get a couple of hits in. Bearing in mind that the Cyan did keep his Immortals alive. Oh! As the Immortals are waddling across the map. 3 of them now. Jesus. 3 Immortals. And now Astrea is in some trouble. He needs gateways. Yeah, I was about to say that Astrea, he has a goal base, but he can't spend his money. He doesn't have the production for it. He needs additional gateways. He's going double Stargate Void Ray, which can actually work here. Oh no, but the Cyber Core is exposed. Oh, taking a lot of hits. If the Cyber Core goes down, we cannot warp in any more Adepts or Stalkers. Yeah, only Zealots. Oh, brutal loss. Brutal loss for Astrea. Good force field though, barely cutting off that army, but the Immortals, they do hop over the fence. They do hop over the wall. Prismatic alignment is activated. We do get an Immortal. Good pickup. The Adepts, they commit to the shade. They take down the mineral line. 11 probes go down. But the goal base is still putting in a lot of work. Astrea still has an economy. Now we're down to 2 Immortals. And slow lots of... Yeah, not ideal here for Astrea. One of the Stargates goes down. He's running out of production. Astrea is running out of steam, and it looks like Cyan, he should be able to snowball out of control. He should be able to break this main base and force the ace match. We're down to 3 Void Rays. Gonna be respecting the prismatic alignments. A 4th Void Ray does arrive. Still no... Oh no, Cybercore has been rebuilt. We can warp in Stalkers, but we're going for Zealots instead. Do you have an excess of gas here at this point? 4 gateways, Astrea. Can we hold on? Oh my god. There's that prismatic alignment once again going ham. The Stalkers are falling. A really good fight here from Astrea. At the same time, we have found the goal base. Probes are going down. Astrea now in a really rough position. He's going to be pulled apart. He has to protect this gold. No, he doesn't. He's going across the map. We're going for a base trade. Cyan goes for the gold. Meanwhile, Astrea, he goes straight for the main. There we go. We're just going to be recalling back home. Recalling home to safety. We warp in aggressively across the map. We should be able to recall home likewise here for Cyan. There it is. We do go for the recall. Cyan does make it back home, but the Immortals are exposed. 1 Immortal does go down, but we have a surround set up. Up. Oh, 2nd Void Ray falls. GG gets called. Astrea does not have enough, and Cyan will take game number 2, forcing the ace match. GG. GG, well played. Let's go. We have a series. We have a back and forth as we get into this, by the way. A big shout out to Slow Iran in the chat. Welcome. Welcome. Thank you so much for resubscribing 7 months in a row. Thank you. It's been quite some time. We appreciate the support. We appreciate it. And yeah, we're just still trying to experience or trying to wrap our head around what the hell it is we're watching. It's been quite chaotic, but that's what we're here for. You know, that's why we love PvPs, especially with a player like Astrea. Oh, very wild, very crazy. We love it. And the question becomes, what do we see in Game 3? What kind of map are we going to be loading into as well? I'm sure it's very map dependent what Astrea decides to go for. Let's go! It's going to be Alcyone. Let's go. Of course, a map also with additional goal bases. There's also an entire section of the map that's cut off from the rest of it. So we could try to make use of that. Is this when we finally go for a standard game? No shot. No shot, Bobby. No chance. Give us some more cheese. Give us some more just wild NA builds. That's all we want. That is what we are here for. And spawning in the top right hand corner of Alcyone, we have the American Protoss representing Maturino Esports. It is Astrea. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Chinese Protoss player, the red Protoss representing the Starving Camels, SSLD. It is Cyan. Go. Alright, yeah, it's been a wild series so far. Don't really know what to expect anymore, but I'm ready for it, whatever it happens to be. For now, everything is as it should. Probes are chilling back at home, but we'll keep our eye out. Keep our eye out for what comes next. Astrea just setting his camera locations at his 4 bases. These are the goal bases that I was talking about. There are 2 goal bases here on this map. In the center, a lot easier to scout and a lot easier to actually punish. That's a big difference here compared to Golden Aura. Likewise, we have mineral patches that we can, of course, mine through to gain access to the other half of the map. And these are prime proxy locations for Stargates. We've seen many a Protoss player mine through these mineral patches in the center or mineral patches on the edge and go for a proxy pylon and a Stargate as well. Very common. So I'm sure both players are going to be wary of that. Both players will be checking, making sure everything is as it should be. The probes, they do pass each other. Gateways on the way. Once again, really interesting positioning here from Astrea. Now, because of the building placement of Cyan, he can wall off here at the ramp to deny any kind of a depth shade. Meanwhile, Astrea's setup instead is designed to keep these buildings safe and sound against any kind of aggression. We saw in the last game that the Cybercore was exposed and the Cybercore went down pretty early on. That led to the downfall of Astrea. This time Astrea, of course, he wants to keep the tech safe and sound behind the mineral line. Meanwhile, Astrea throws down a pylon here in between the gateways. He's going for a scout. Does spot the second pylon, so Astrea knows it's a standard opener. Both Stalkers have been spotted. Astrea, he's aware of the double Stalker opener. And we have our tech of choice. We have Cyan delaying his expansion, going for a Twilight Council. Meanwhile, Astrea also delays his expansion, going for a Stargate. Okay. So, if this was any other player, I would say, okay, Stargate opener, Oracles. Should be Oracles to get ahead economically, to cripple the economy of his opponent, and to get into a macro game. But oh my god, Cyan going for the gold! And Astrea's been making a lot of Void Rays this game. This series. A lot of Void Rays. So I'm uncertain as to whether or not it's going to be an Oracle. With this gold base, Cyan looking to take control of the wheel. Looking to be in the driver's seat this time. He's had enough of reacting. Now Astrea is going to have to be the one to react instead. Astrea, he hasn't spotted the gold yet. Adepts are moving out. Likewise, Cyan pushing across the map with his own Stalkers as well. Applying pressure to the natural. These Adepts will confirm that the base is missing. The natural should be here and it isn't. Yep, there's that Void Ray once again. Just a safety Void Ray out of Astrea. This Oracle should be moving out and should be confirming that goal base. It should be. As there we go, the Oracle dips in and does spot the Nexus, the Pylon, as well as the Probe. Everything has been spotted. And how do we punish this? How do we decide to punish this? But now Astrea, he rotates back around. He's gonna, not quite get a probe. He's thinking about it. He will get at least one probe for his troubles. Meanwhile, the rocks are knocked down. Cyan can now defend a little bit more freely as he recalls over towards the gold. Up. Oracle gets another 2 workers. Good amount of damage. Astrea, he was expecting the recall. He shut it down. Meanwhile, back at home, we have that one Void Ray. We have Adepts shading in. Get one more probe, 2 more probes before shading away. Really nice damage done here by Astrea. Only 4 workers mining at the gold. And we're not done. The rest of the army is moving out. We went for a Robo Immortal production. This is looking like game 1. This is looking very similar to game number 1, where Astrea stayed on 2 gateways, went up to, or just committed to just Robo Void Ray production into Skytoss, into Colossus. Very similar indeed. Astrea, though, he is going to back off, doesn't want to overextend. He's aware, of course, that he is down in the overall army count, in the gateway army count. But back at home, he's got a Void Ray, he's got an Immortal, and is he going to just turtle? Oh my god, Void Ray will fall. Volleys do connect, and Astrea's in a lot of trouble. He barely has anything. He has to defend with a bare minimum. Decent force field, 1 Immortal to hold on. Shield Battery will finish up, and Astrea barely holds. But again, this is a tight hold. Oracle doesn't quite get any damage here. Rotates towards the goal base where there are Stalkers ready. Astrea has to be very careful with his movement. Comes in from behind, but we still have Stalkers in position. They're everywhere. Blink is done. The first Oracle goes down. And so will the second. Astrea bleeding out too much. Cyan going for a second goal base. Oh my god. Cyan, he wants it all, Vappy. Again, he has map control, and he's going to flex that map control. Now, we have a revelation on the Stalkers. Astrea, he sees the rocks falling. He can assume, but he doesn't quite know what's going on. As Cyan, with all this gold minerals, he's going for charge. He's going to be going for mass charge. Just before that even happens, we dive on top of the Immortals. We get 1. It took a lot, though. It took a lot to bring down 1 Immortal. That was 3 volleys. Astrea will hold. But he doesn't know what Cyan is getting away with. He can't keep getting away with it. 2 gold bases. Hero, is that you? Hero does this as well. Now we dive in once again. Another Immortal goes down. Out of range of the shield batteries. Good juggling here out of Astrea, though. Oh my god. But there's still so many Stalkers. Oh. And we take down the Prism. The Stalker. Boys are being pulled. Astrea, he is hurting. Hurting bad. And we will clean everything up here on the low ground. Even if it costs us all of these Stalkers, it's going to be worth it in the end. Let's say that we do have Astrea doing some counter damage, but he is out of an army. That's it. He has nothing left. He has 2 Adepts to his name. That's all he has remaining here, and Cyan is snowballing out of control. This is Astrea's army, and now he comes across the goal base. He's now aware of what's been happening. But it's too little too late. Astrea, he's lost control of his own natural. The Adepts are putting in a lot of work. But they do get cleaned up in the end. More probes are going to be falling. Astrea, GG gets called. He runs out of steam, down to 22 workers. And Cyan will take the series 2-1. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations to Cyan. My condolences to Astrea, but also big shout out to Astrea as well, because this was a very entertaining series and yeah, very difficult to keep track of. Astrea just having a very wild style. I appreciate that Cyan was also willing to break the norms and also be hyper aggressive as well in the ace match to turn the tables on Astrea. GG, well played. Congratulations. Congratulations to Cyan. My condolences to Astrea, as he is going to be knocked out. But did he really reveal too much here? I mean, You know, he was just showing off some crazy builds, some builds that I'm sure he's like working on, and he's building up, and of course willing to throw into a best of series. I'm sure we're going to be seeing more of that later on in ESL Masters Americas, but GG nonetheless. Well played. And Cyan will advance on into the next round, where he has his next opponent ready and waiting. !B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the bracket yourselves.